going on, Jerome? It's a beautiful Saturday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So, of course, the Vikings Entertainment Network, they're very good at the riddles. They're very good at random talkers when players are coming off the field. This one was weird food combinations, and the Vikings didn't disappoint. All right, so Murph, spaghetti with ranch. Now, it's unclear if he's talking about spaghetti with marinara sauce and then ranch, or just literally noodles with ranch, which I don't know. I guess my kids would approve, sure. But also, Metellus talking about spaghetti with sugar. So don't extend Metellus, and can we rescind Murphy's deal? I don't know. I'm just glad I'm not Italian because, like, mamma mia, this would be a sin, as it were. Although I will say that, so growing up in the Midwest, you got the spaghetti noodles, you got like the Prego or the ragu, and hamburger, not sausage, right? But we come to find out, so the crock pot is fantastic. So on Sundays, like, you can make up this great marinara sauce / gravy. There's some of the pork drippings in there too. I mean, come on, it's really, really, really good. And then, so you cook the spaghetti noodles al dente, a little bit of sauce in there with some of the pasta water, and then you finish the cooking of it all together. It's almost like that's the correct way to make pasta. I don't know. It continued. Diamond Dallas Turner, applesauce on hamburgers, which... So you'll see this on the menu from time to time, like a peanut butter and jelly burger. Now, initially it sounds kind of weird, but it's actually really good. Like the savory and the sweet together. So maybe that's what DDT is going for, the applesauce in the burgers. I mean, so if you have the applesauce, you got some bacon on there too. I mean, it works. It works, right? And a lot of the players brought up they don't mix macaroni and yams, which I don't know. I feel like it's fine. Like, yams are sweet potatoes, mac and cheese, Thanksgiving, like everything's piled on the plate. It's perfectly fine. But they're talking about it like it's an affront to God. So I don't know. All right. But also, CJ Ham talk about cornbread with jelly, which, so traditionally, like cornbread, butter, cornbread, honey, etc. But jelly, I don't think that's weird. A lot of players, notably Miles Price, UDFA wide receiver out of Indiana, rocking the 3-1 rest in power Kyrie. Think it's weird. I don't know. Elijah Williams, UDFA out of Mercer. I think is it Mercer? It doesn't matter. But 6'9", nice. He had the weirdest one. Soy sauce in my packs of noodles. As a representative of the Asian community, spokesperson for half the world, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with a little soy sauce with some noodles, man. I don't get it. Also, here's what's crazy. So, Matured Ramen, like the standard ramen brand, they used to, when I was a kid, back in the day, they used to have a flavor. It was the blue pack called Oriental, and it was good. Like, it had some good flavor. It was fine. But then they changed it to soy sauce because someone wrote in and complained, even though the Oriental flavor did not taste like soy sauce at all, but they just renamed it soy sauce. Someone complained, and I guarantee you it wasn't an Asian person because we do not care. That's all. And also Kevin Connell, lots of sausage. Out of context, don't know. But he is wearing the Kwesi hat, which I need to get me one of those. Also, so he's becoming Belichick, except he's doing it smarter and also with an age-appropriate significant other, where he's got the cutoff hoodie over another hoodie, or a compression shirt, but the sleeves are cut and sewn. See, that's work smarter, not harder. There you go. Also, Kevin O'Connell. It's great to see the Vikings out there in the community. I think that the Wilfs have made they've definitely made a point that the Vikings get out there in the community. You see it during the season, especially on Tuesdays, which is usually the players' day off, especially Kirk Cousins. But you see them out there doing charity work. It's great. Vikes fan page. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell stopped by Children's Minnesota Hospital this morning to visit patients in the Cancer and Blood Disorders Unit. That's my coach, and it's good to see KOC out there. Also, Children's, does great work. And not getting into details, but our youngest Easy's had some work done there, and they're absolute professionals. That they're absolute the best out there in their field, and it's good to see lots of success stories. And good to see Kevin O'Connell out there bringing some joy to that ward as well. Also, Kevin O'Connell is on the Power Trip Morning Show, K-Fan, and played the initials game. I didn't see how he did, but doesn't matter. But Kevin O'Connell talked about Harrison Smith and the discussion of Harrison returning for another season. Vikes fan page again. Kevin O'Connell's conversation with Harrison Smith this offseason before his career decision was great. Kevin O'Connell, hey man, how are you? Harry, good, how are you? Kevin O'Connell, doing okay. Still kind of stings, playoff loss a little bit. Getting ready to watch some guys from free agency where we would add players if we got to replace some guys. Harry, I know where you're going. I'm not ready to talk about it. Now, Harrison did declare that he's going to return rather quickly at age 36 for another glorious season, 14th with the Vikings. So it's good to see. And as we said before, this is not a charity case with Harrison Smith. He's still a top 25's top 20 safety and still has a great purpose and plays a phenomenal role in the Brian Flores defense. Like, Flores has been effusive with his praise, and not just physical attributes. It's just being an extension of Flores on the field, being a coach on the field. I think Harrison, if he wanted to, would be a phenomenal DB coach, DC head coach down the line. But let's see. But we get one more year of 22. Let's make it count. Effing right, man. All right. Also, again, the stupid narrative. All right. Kevin O'Connell addressed it again today or yesterday on the Power Trip Morning Show, where it's like, yeah, we had discussions and blah, 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 but Rodgers contacted us and blah, 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 right? The Vikings, the Vikings' chances of signing Rodgers this offseason, again, they could have signed him at any point, but them actually signing Rodgers was like, what, 0.5%, if that? But the prophecy. FanDuel, Aaron Rodgers as a Steeler will play the Packers, former team, Week 8. The Bears, part owner, which is great. Full-time owner, let's be honest. Former team, the Jets, and could have played for. It's great. I cannot wait until the Vikings absolutely whip Aaron Boniva, octogenarian Bird Bones ass in Ireland. Big Arla. Sláinte. It's going to be great. The only team to kick Aaron Rodgers' ass in 3 different countries. That's right, baby. Also, so NFL Fashion Advice does this every offseason. It's like a bracket of the NFL's primary helmets. And let's be honest here. Like, the Vikings have one of the best helmets in the NFL. They really do. Like the purple, the deep purple, the flat matte, but also the horns are just timeless, right? And they're one of the few logos that have stood the test of time over 70 years. I mean, the Vikings helmets are essentially the same ones as they came into the league in 1961. NFL Fashion Advice, the primary helmet division champs, I just said that, have been crowned starting next week, the knockout round, blah, 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 blah. Now, I think what's going to happen is that it'll come down to Cincinnati versus the Vikings in the finals, and I think the Vikings will triumph. Because somebody doesn't like the old school Jaguars. No, if they had the old school like full body cat, like reaching cat, that'd be good. The Rams, I prefer the old Rams horns. The new one, yeah. The Eagles. So it's funny. In high school football, like, one team in your conference always had like the Eagles logo or the Michigan Wolverines. Flying whatever that is. The San Diego Superchargers. They'll always be San Diego to me. Like, the Bolt is great. The Buccaneers pewter is phenomenal. I prefer Bucko Bruce from back in the day, though. Jets, yeah. So I think it will be Vikings Bengals in the final, because the Bengals are really good too. Let's be honest here. But Vikings will prevail as they usually do. Also, over at NFL Daily, Matt Hammond, Patrick Claiborne, as well as Greg Rosenthal, Delaware, did up a top 30 wide receivers list. Now, they put Chase at 1, sure. I mean, Jefferson, it is what it is. Like, for me, it's Jefferson 1, but Chase won the Triple Crown last year. Respect. Got paid, sure. At least they didn't put A.J. Brown at 1. But the rest of it, Jordan Addison, 27. So Addison at 27, slightly ahead of Zay Flowers. I think Zay is underrated. Slightly ahead of Jameson Williams, which is a travesty in and of itself. And behind Courtland Sutton, who's a fine borderline wide receiver 1, sure, but also behind Travis Hunter, who has not played a snap of wide receiver in the National Football League, because he's a rookie, but also he's not a refined route runner, and I think he's going to struggle to get open in the National Football League. This is not the spread offense that Colorado ran. And also, I'll be honest here, Jimmy Horn Jr. was a much more refined route runner than Travis Hunter. Just Travis Hunter's a better player and a better athlete. Well, maybe not even that far, right? But putting Hunter ahead of Addison, for shame. For shame. Also, the rest of it, so they did a draft here, and maybe Harmon's just reaching with Travis Hunter, it's whatever. But Waddle, Olave can't stay healthy. Godwin is older and also coming off that terrible injury. T. Higgins, I'm taking Addison over Higgins every single day. Ayuk, I love that Ayuk got paid as a wide receiver 1, but he's a wide receiver 2. DK, really, I feel like DK and George Pickens, ironically, they could have been teammates, but DK is way more style over substance, more sizzle than steak. Absolutely is. I would put Addison in the Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson, the older Mike Evans, the older Devontae Adams type area. And also the fact that McConkey's just up there at 13. I mean, okay. Drake London just anointed at 12. A little bit annoying. Scary Terry finally getting some respect, which is good. I think he's underrated. I think he should get paid. Not here, but no. Brian Thomas Jr. already up there at 9. Okay. Neighbors at 10. I don't know, man. I disagree, but whatever. Speaking of disagree, so top 10 quarterback, wide receiver, and or tight end combos. And, of course, there's no one to be found. But Drake London and Michael Penix Jr. are on there. Now, Penix Jr. played for 2 seconds last year, or a third of the season. Fine. And, sure, he's got flash and upside, yes. But Drake London, so basically Penix Jr. and J.J. McCarthy are entering at the same level. I don't care that McCarthy hasn't taken a snap and Penix played a part of his rookie season. Do not care, right? So we'll say Penix and J.J. McCarthy are neutral right now. So you're telling me that Drake London is better than Justin Jefferson. That's it. That's it. Okay. But some of these, Tyreek and Tua, maybe a couple years ago, Stafford and Puka. Respect. Jaden Daniels, Scary Terry. If Terry's around, sure. Baker and Evans, I think that's kind of an underrated combo. But Jared Goff and Amon-Ra, okay. Dak and CeeDee Lamb, sure. Stroud and Nico. Respect to Stroud and Nico, except last year was such a poop whatever. We were all stars now in the poop show. Brown and Hurts, yes, and Burrow and Chase, of course, just anointed. The Bengals are going to go 7-12. That doesn't add up. 7-10, and they're going to put up a lot of numbers, but they're like, oh, the defense let them down. I wonder why. But again, hell, McCarthy and Addison should have been on this list. It is what it is. Right. Also, so we talked about a couple weeks ago, Naj Thompson was released by the Vikings, that perhaps they could potentially bring him back as he recovers from his knee injury. But he said goodbye to Minnesota, as well as Vikings fans on the gram yesterday. Quote, "It's surreal. Thank you all for making the first part of my dream something I'll never forget, and very grateful to have the opportunity here. But so long, Minnesota, officially out of here and to the cold weather, and you'll be the only thing not missed. But on to a new beginning." And they thanked Vikings fans, one of the best fan bases out there, saying it was a pleasure. And Najee was great, man. And I think that he'll catch on somewhere. I think that he'll be a special teams ace. I think that he hopefully knocking down all the wood. That knee is good to go, but that knee must have been wrecked. Rough. But the Vikings, bring in Tim Jones, bring in Tavier Thomas, bring in Ty Felton, bring in Rondale. They're definitely trying to suture things up on special teams. But wishing the best for Najee. He's a special teams dynamo. He is a NBA ball knower as well as professional bowling aficionado. Although I think he cheated. Probably not. That's a lot of turkeys, man. Anyways, that's it. Vikings news done for this beautiful, glorious Saturday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol. Production value.